Hello, my name is Elisa. I go by Bellbrook here on YouTube and hopefully on my future works. I am an aspiring author and a full-time stay-at-home mom to two toddlers, and this is the first time I'm writing a book. And I wanted to share with you guys 6 things I learned while I'm writing the first draft. And the reason I decided to do this video was because I noticed that it had been 6 months since I started working on Project BK, which is my work in progress. It is a new adult fantasy romance with influences of Greek and Eastern Asian philosophy, I guess. And it has a lot of mental health themes in it. Of course, it is political and military academia, and I think I'm leaning towards a love triangle, which we'll see. We will see, right? So it's still in progress. But because I noticed it had been 6 months, I wanted to go ahead and make a video on the things I've learned, and there's several things that I've learned. So we're gonna go over that today, and I hope that you guys like this kind of video and let me know down below if it was helpful or not. So we're gonna go ahead and do the first one, and I really should stop swiveling around this chair, but I just feel like sometimes when I talk I have to be moving, which is why this is always happening. So the first thing that I learned is that I am a slow writer. So I think it was November when everyone was doing the NaNoWriMo challenge or whatever writing challenge they were doing because of all the whole NaNoWriMo stuff that happened. I'm not even going to go over that. I'm sure by now everyone knows. If not, just Google it or just YouTube it. But anyway, as I was watching everyone during the November challenges, I realized, and I didn't participate in it, I was gone most of November on a family vacation. But I realized that, holy crap, people write super fast. And in my head, I'm just like, how are they doing this? Like, when are they finding the time to write like 50,000 words in a month when I am just like hitting that? You know what I mean? But because of this thought, I had some time to like really process it. And I am okay being a slow writer. My life is completely different from everyone else's. I have 2 children. I have 2 toddlers, and I am constantly on for them. I am on for my family. And when I say on, I am constantly needed by someone. And that is the season of my life, right? I wake up super early in the morning, and people think it's crazy. I wake up at 4:35 a.m. to start writing. But this is the only time that I have to write, to create videos, to edit videos, to read, to drink coffee in peace in the quiet of the early morning. You know what I mean? So it's my time for myself because the rest of the day, I give myself to my kids and my husband. Like, that's just how it is. And even though I stay at home, I am working almost like, not almost, I do work 24/7, 365, even when I'm sick. That's what it means to be a mom. And to be honest, this is the hardest job I've ever had to do. And being a mom is a whole job. Because you can't stop. It's a responsibility and the kids need you. And so with that, I am a slow writer, and that is totally okay because in exchange for that, I get to be with my family. And I know some people have work, and if I'm looking down, it's because I have notes. And I know people have work and they have their own responsibilities in their own home. And I can't even fathom like working and having like a full-time job. Like that's a lot, and still being a parent or whatever it is that you do at home, that's a lot, right? But for me, like, I have to do this thing for myself. Hold on, pause. See, you know what I mean? Literally, I have this with me all the time. So if you guys hear static sounds, it's because of this. and sometimes I forget to mute it. But even right now, like, my attention is divided. I am making sure my kids are okay because they're about to wake up soon. So it's a lot. Like, it's a lot if you're working, you are a parent, and then you have to write. There's a lot going on. And so if you are slow, it's okay. You have other things that need your attention. And it took me a while to learn that because I was comparing myself to other author tubers and other writers. I'm just like, how do you do this all the time? Like, what about the other stuff? So if you're a slow writer and you're not quite where you need to be or you want to be, that's okay. And that is one of the things that I learned real quick as a writer, as a first-time writer of her very first draft. First draft. The second thing that I have learned is I thought that I would be a plotter, but no, I am a plantser. So that is a combination of a plotter and a pantser, which is a discovery writer. Really, I thought I was going to be more of a plotter, just the way my brain works, because I get anxious if I don't know what is going on, what the plan is. But apparently, I like to pants most of the time. I lean more pantser than plantser sometimes. I plotted the world of Project BK really well. I did the map, the kingdoms, the politics, the magic, the characters, the organizations within the kingdom, the history between the kingdoms. And I really liked that. I loved doing that. It took about a month. The lore, you know, all that stuff. It took about a month, and even though I had this grand idea of what was going to happen for Project BK, it has changed tremendously. And I blame the characters. I really, truly do. Just kidding. I created them. So really, I'm the one to blame. So I will plot the the chapters or the scenes. I will write down the things that really need to happen to move us forward with the plot, right? But what the characters do is truly up to them. And as I get to know the characters and as I learn more about them and get more familiar with them, they just do what they want to do, you know, and they become who they become. So, which is a big thing in my book and something that I have to actively think about is the FMC is constantly changing and in a drastic way. And it'll be explained in the book. So that's one thing. I thought I was going to be a plotter, but nope. I'm a plantster that leans more into pantsing, which is a funny thing to learn. The third thing that I have learned is that you only get better the more you write. So initially, when I started writing, it was such a struggle to put down any words on the page, especially the first chapter. And I know my first chapter is going to need a rewrite because it sucks ass. Sorry. But it does. It sucks. It sucks so much. And it can be better. But now that I have been writing for, 6 months, right? It's just gotten better. Like, to me, I find words are easier. It's easier to describe things, which I suck at. Dialogue is much easier, which I also suck at. But it's something that I'm working on. Do I just suck at a lot of things? Anyway, it's gotten better though. It's gotten so much better. And I truly believe it's because I write almost every day, except weekends, because those are family times. So I write every day. I don't necessarily always reach my word count goal for the day, which has always been 1,000 words. Except for this week, because I'm doing like a 10K in 4 days challenge, which I will link up above right here. But doing a little bit a day has helped a whole lot. And when I read my first chapter, like I think yesterday, I was like, damn girl, like you've improved. So good for you, right? So I am, really glad to have learned that about myself, that I've improved, right? And that's one of the things I learned is that as you practice something, it becomes more perfected with time. Not them saying you're perfect at writing. I'm just saying that you just hone that skill a little bit better every day, the more you practice it. Now, speaking of writing every day and your writing getting better, writing, I've discovered, is just like working out. It takes discipline. Now, a lot of people will, I don't know, maybe not agree with me on this, but this is my opinion. So, writing is like working out. It takes discipline for it to improve and for it to become a habit and for it to become easier. And so I've always been an early riser because of my children. Truly, it's because of them. I just got used to waking up at like 4 or 5 a.m. because when they were like babies, that was their quote unquote first feed of the day. And I just decided just start the day at 4 or 5 a.m. because what's the point, you know? And then I'll rest when they were newborns, but it just kind of stuck. And I was already working out early in the morning, so I might as well just start writing early in the morning and reading. So with that and consistently doing it, even when I don't feel like writing, I still put a few words down. And this is where a lot of people will disagree, right? Like, don't do it if you don't feel like doing it because it's gonna be crap. But this is the first draft, so to me, it's okay. But also just writing like in your diary or something or in your journal, write, like just get things out. It will help you write your draft. Any words, anything, you know, it's just practice, which is what I said in the last bullet point that I talked about. That kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that I've learned while writing this first draft that this is just first draft. It's not supposed to be perfect. And that is something I am constantly reminding myself because I am a perfectionist, and that comes from anxiety, by the way. And that's okay. We all have a little bit of anxiety. Some high, some low. For me, it's in the middle. Most of the time it goes up. Anyway, this is the first draft. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And I constantly remind myself that it doesn't have to be. The first draft just has to exist. You just have to complete it, you know, and then you're done. And I am so close to finishing this first draft. I think, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm at the midpoint, guys. Anyway, that's going to be on the vlog. Gonna link it above. Or I did already, but I'm going to do it again. So it just has to exist. And lastly, one of the things that I have learned being in this community, this writing community, and since writing, is that this writing community is so lovely. Like, this is the friendliest, the warmest, most helpful community ever. You know? In AuthorTube, there's so much support. In Writergram, there's so much support. And I finally feel like I've found my people, my kind of people, because I've always thought I've always kind of just always been in my head, and now I find people that get it, you know, that we live inside our heads for a reason because all these things are happening. And as an introvert, it's nice because the other person understands, and a lot of writers are introverts, so it's actually comforting that there are people similar to me. And I have met really wonderful writers, and some that have become friends, and those that understand how my world works in my head is really nice. So that's another thing that I learned, and that's the final thing that I learned, is that the writing community is so welcoming. And if you ever need help, and if you ever need to vent, or if you're finding yourself alone, that there are people out there that get it. You know, you just have to reach out, which leaves me to the end of this video. I know it's super quick, but if you want to reach out, comment down below or DM me on my Instagram. I'm going to leave my handle here. I love talking to writers, and just connecting with other writers. And believe it or not, I am an introvert, right? But it can go on and off. It's just like anything else. It's a scale that just moves back and forth. But I hope this helps you guys out. I hope it, I don't know, was entertaining. But this is just me talking about the things that I've learned the past 6 months as a first-time writer, writing her first draft for her first novel. Hopefully publish in the next few years. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon, and I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys subscribe and comment below what you thought, what you learned when you were writing your first draft, the first time you were doing it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.